Hey you guys, it's me Kianna coming at you today, and I'm coming at you because I wanted to do a video talking about something that may ruffle a little feathers. I may get a couple of hurt dogs, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure to be evident. But I wanted to do a video because I've seen this rapid in the weight loss surgery community for so long. I've even seen it amongst my own viewers at times. It was more in the earlier parts of when I had my gastric sleeve. I don't really get it too much now. I think that I've kind of silenced a lot of people, not intentionally, but just through my living and through my joy and through my progression. I think that it has silenced some of these, um, concerns or issues or whatever. Um, but I do remember in the earlier part of me having the surgery, I experienced this that I'm about to speak on as well. So I'm pretty sure, and even in people that don't do videos but have had weight loss surgery, I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to relate to this video and conversation we're about to have. Um, Let me start off just in case I have new viewers. I had my gastric sleeve December the 10th, 2012. So that was about just making now 5 months ago. So I had my gastric sleeve about 5 months ago. And if you go back on my videos from like a year or two or whatever, I've been on YouTube as of August the 14th of this year, it would make it 3 years. So if you go back, way back on my videos, and most of my viewers do that, even if they're regular viewers, just to be able to see, and it just tickles them, and it tickles me too when you guys do it because um, it allows me to go back and find out what tickled you so when you leave a comment. And then I just go and look at the video. I don't look at the whole video, but I'll be like, wow, I even call daddy in here and I'll tell him, I'm like, wow, look at this, daddy, and he's like, wow, because some things you don't realize until you've moved past that. Um, and I really did not see, I always knew I was a big girl, but I really didn't see how extreme it was until I got to a point where I've lost some weight. Now, I'm still moving on, of course, and I have not, uh, you know, uh, I have not lost well, I have lost a huge amount, but I haven't lost all of the weight, of course, to make me not a plus size woman. I think I'll always be a plus size girl. Um, why do I think that? I really do think that, but that may be just the fact that that's all I know. You know, I may be just thinking that because that's, when we have this thought in our head, we kind of put limitations on ourselves, and I admit that. So I may be limiting myself because that's all I know. So as time goes on, I'm just going to basically, that's why when people ask me what is my goal weight, even though I don't discuss my numbers, a few of you guys that I talk to as far as through emails and things like that off of YouTube, I have discussed numbers with you guys because you guys really, really, really wanted to know, and you guys was amazed when I shared it with you guys. But I don't discuss my numbers because I've been on weight loss journeys and things like that in the past. And as millions of people on YouTube share their weight loss journey. They share their numbers and their figures and how much they've lost. And for some reason, when Kianna does that, it starts a riot. Um, it causes, so much confusion and disbelief and comments and things like that. So with that being said, since I did experience that so often, I just don't even share my numbers. What I do is I let it speak for itself. And yeah, I just let it speak for itself. Um, and I enjoy that because then I don't have to be burdened down with others' issues, insecurities, and things like that. I don't have to be burdened down with it. But just keeping the numbers to myself and maybe my immediate family and things like that, it allows me to enjoy the moment and to live in the moment and to not have to be burdened down with silliness, you know. So that's why I don't share the numbers. But I think it's quite evident. It's quite evident to those who want to see it. It's quite evident. But yeah. So uh, what I do is it's just in the earlier part, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, many of you weight loss surgery patients will be able to relate to this comment. You get people, oh, you should have lost more weight by now. You should be at least this amount down. Mind you, you get this from people that are faceless, pictureless, videoless. So they could be sitting behind the computer screen at 475 pounds like I was at my highest weight, and they're telling you where you should be. Even if they're not sitting behind a computer screen at that weight, I'm pretty sure they have something that they need to improve on. And it's kind of silly because we as women, we are not, I don't understand why it takes us so long to do this, but we're smart enough to be able to do all the other things that we do. We're smart enough to be able to juggle all the things that we juggle in life. We're smart enough to be able to have children, make ends meet, and be able to have luxuries. And we're smart enough to do all of that. But yet we're not smart enough to understand or come to an understanding or grow to a place where we learn and realize that we spend so much wasted energy on worrying about somebody else's life, worrying about where they are, worrying about where they're going, instead of worrying about where we are, worrying about how we can improve, worrying about where we're going. It's wasted energy. That's energy that we can use on ourselves. You know, once you get to a place where you really sit and think, if you have, let's do math figures. If you have 100% of energy, okay, and you spend 50% on improving you, managing yourself, uh, growing spiritually, mentally, physically. If you spend 50% on that, on you, this is solely on you, and then you spend 35% on worrying about the next chick or worrying about, the next person that you read about on Facebook, and you spent energy on trying to investigate and see what they're talking about and into their lives. And think about it. That's 85% of your energy gone, right? If you would have took that 35% that you spent unnecessarily, wasted energy, and I call it wasted because it's no concern of you. It doesn't further you, it doesn't better you, it doesn't improve you. It's wasted energy, let's face it. What you do or what you say, in essence, doesn't affect that person that you're spending that energy on. Because they're going to still do them. They're going to still be who they are. They're still going to do what they're doing. It's wasted energy. That's why I call it such. So if you was to spend that 35% and put that with the 50% of you improving you, you empowering you furthering you, maybe starting a business, a vital business, a real business, maybe going to school, furthering your education, maybe going, advancing yourself in your job or something like that. 50%, remember, was on you. If you spend that 35 that you used wasted energy on another person and combine that with the 50% that you have already invested in yourself, do you realize that your energy level goes from 50 that you've invested in yourself, goes from 50 to 85? Can you imagine how successful, how powerful, how empowering, how progressive that you would be, that you would become if you already making it, if you're already doing the thing at 50%? Imagine at 85. Imagine at 85%. Imagine the levels that you can reach. And I don't understand why, no matter how old we get, it's still women out there that still don't get that, that still don't have the capacity to have that type of wisdom or thought process. I still don't get that. But I'm not going to spend too much energy on it, on figuring out why, because that would be wasted energy. So I'm saying all that to say that you get people all the time in the weight loss surgery community that tell you where you should be, that tell you the amount that you should have lost by now, how you should look by now. You get that so often. And it's really no response to that. For one, if you've never given numbers, I don't know how they have a magical, invisible scale that they evidently have put you on, placed you on. Don't know how they do it. I mean, they need to patent it. Whatever it is, they need to patent it, because people can tell, how much weight you've lost since your surgery without you even saying a word, just by looking at you on the screen. Patent it. You like it, I love it. But you also, the response, you really don't even have to give one, because what I think it does is, I know for a fact that, especially amongst women, and it's sad to say, but especially amongst women, when you lose weight, it's going to come with issues. And I'm going to do another video on that, so make sure you check that out too, because I'm going to talk about the issues that you're going to get once you lose weight, or as you're losing weight. And I think you're going to find that quite interesting, because it's going to, like I said, that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers too. But oh well, reality is reality, and the only feathers that will be ruffled is people that it is really calling out. Oh well. But you really just don't really respond to it, because, like I said, what it does is, a lot of women, as you're losing weight, what it does is it makes them see that you're not going to just be placed in that box they personally have placed you in. A lot of people put you in a box where you're just a fat, jolly, cute girl. Yeah, that's the box they may put you in. Of course, they don't, talk about putting you in the box, but it's a silent way of putting you in that box. So when you are blossoming out of that box, it can stir something up inside of people. Also, sometimes it makes people try harder. It makes, even if you're not saying it, it makes them feel like, oh, she about to one up me. When all that sister doing, she not trying to one up you. She ain't even worrying about you. Wasted energy again. Everybody is not on that kind of time frame. But the wasted energy is, she not even worrying about one upping you, but you are worrying about one upping the next chick. So therefore, because that's your mindset, you assume that her progression, her trying to live, her trying to be better and do better, is one upping you. So then you push forward, you push more. Some people don't like to be pushed. Again, you're not making them push. They're doing all that. They're adding extra work on themselves. But that's what they perceive it as. So therefore, a dislike for you may come, or, some animosity may come. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you get people that they may see you as already being a certain way. They may see you as already being fly, even when you're fat, even when you're morbidly obese. So when you're improving on that, and you're improving that, then what that does is it makes them, in their head, mind you, not in yours, but in their head, it makes them say, oh hell no, she about to get better than what she already is. And then that's when issues may arise or animosity may arise. You also may get some women that they may consider, you, like I said, you already are a certain level and they here. But that's why I said you can't respond to it, because it's more of them than you, honey. It really is. It really is. And that's why I really, really, really love the fact, anybody that's really into like psychology, sociology, analyzing people and things like that. If you're really into that, I really love comments. Why? Because comments really reveal a lot about people. And they think that they're hiding it, but they're not. They're actually highlighting their insecurities. Why? Because a lot of people thrive or go by emotion. So a lot of people will make a comment or have a thought or whatever, or actually verbally express themselves, and it's out of emotion. They don't have time to sit back and see or assess if that's the right thing to do, or if that's a smart way of handling it. They don't have time to do that because they're working out or moving off of emotion. So I like comments because it allows people to express themselves, but then also tell me more about them. And then by the time they get to the point where they like, oh, maybe I should have said that because that shows how I feel, or that shows my insecurity, or that shows my issue with her. And it shows how deep the issue is rooted. You understand what I'm saying? By the time they're able to get to that point, they've already revealed it. They've already told it. Why? Because they worked or moved out of emotion. So I love comments, whether bad or good, because what it does, and I've always said these words, you guys, you look back on my videos, I said what it does for me is it gives me confirmation. It gives me confirmation on many different levels. Example, I get a lot of people saying things like when Chuck and I first were married, when I first started YouTube, we were married for a year. We had issues just like every marriage does. And I said things maybe I shouldn't have said, but oh well, my husband's still here and loving me. What can I say? Um, anyway, I get a lot of people that always go back to that. That means that they always viewing. So I can't complain because thank you for viewing for so long. It's much appreciated, trust me. But I get people that go back and they say comments about that. I remember this and all that kind of stuff. What it does is it highlights issues within yourself. It highlights that maybe some people actually do be mad that even despite no matter what I've said, even despite disrespectful stuff I've said, my husband still loves me. My husband's still here, rocking, loving, all day long, in spite and despite what I said. And here they are, maybe they can't even get somebody to love them if they just say a curse word to them. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't give you total insight, but it gives you an inkling of it's some issues with that. When people come up with these issues that have nothing to do with what you're talking about at the moment, and they come and drag up stuff from 3 years ago, it's some issues there. It's some issues there because it's not even like valid to what you're talking about. I get people that bring up stuff like they'll bring up my business for no reason at all. No reason. Why? Why? Like, makes you question. Makes one of those things that make you go, Is it because a lot of people try to do a business and maybe they're not successful? Is it because you put me in a box maybe and you didn't want me to be a successful person? And when you seen that I am, when you seen a sister doing it and doing it right, it made you feel some sort of way? Is it because you're just sitting on a computer and I sit on a computer and I get paid for it? and you feel some sort of way about that? Is it because you think you don't have the opportunities or the wits to do it, to actually run a business and own a business, even despite over the years, because I've always been generous with information, even despite me enlightening people how everybody can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. Even despite my pure intentions of trying to help people in that area, but because they haven't implemented those key ingredients or key um, subjects or key factors, because they haven't implemented those things in their life to be successful, you're mad when you see somebody else doing it, not talking about it, but being about it. See, again, it just reveals a lot about people. So I did branch off and talk about some other things, but it all ties in together. When people have that comment, you should be this size by now. You should have lost this weight by now. Sally Joe down the street, and she is 5 months out, 4 months out, 8 months out, and she's smaller than you. When you have those comments, it really shows you. It truly actually shows you, if you really sit and analyze it, especially analyze the source it's coming from. Pictureless, faceless, nobodies usually. That's just living through you or living through others. And that's the essence of who they are. When you get those type of people, or when you get those type of comments, know that that's the source that they're usually coming from. And there's really no answer to give them. Because you cannot change one's perceptions, you cannot change one's self-image about themselves, and you cannot change people's insecurities about themselves. Those are things that you cannot do. You don't have the power to do it. So it's really no need to answer those comments. What you do is keep moving, keep doing, and keep serving them proper.